Welcome to the Quick Stop F1 podcast. My name is Mario, and you could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here with us, and we appreciate it. I'm going to remember how to record a podcast as we go, but we're here for the Las Vegas GP post-quali show. If you're on YouTube, if you're on Spotify, if you're on Apple Music, leave us all the great reviews, all the 5 stars, all the comments, engage with us, and, reach out. We love to see it. But you know what we love to see more than anything else is my co-host. She's been watching Lewis Hamilton dance for the last 2 days on Fortnite. She edits, she hosts, she memes. She's the latest Dove influencer. It is the one and only Tasha. I need to get that, like the clapping and the thing. We need to get that eventually.
Yeah, I have some. There's some ones that I definitely know I want to put on our soundboard for next season. We'll get it together. Yeah.
Did you see them in Fortnite? You saw them all in Fortnite, huh?
No. I have been obsessed with Lewis Hamilton dancing in Fortnite. Like, I have been having the time of my life. Nothing has made me happier in 12 months than seeing Lewis Hamilton do TikTok choreography with Roscoe strapped to his back in a little backpack. Like,
I'm sorry. I see that video with Roscoe in the back and I'm like, that's Tasha and I recording a podcast. Like,
right.
I am Roscoe. Like, I'm just vibing in the back. I feel bad for Chris. Let me just say that. Chris in the back. Chris, my guy's just trying to play Fortnite.
Right.
Meanwhile, Tasha's like, no. Let me see that one more time.
Can you
run that dance back one more time. Give me that dance one more.
This is how, like, this, I've never even like, this PS5 has been here for, I don't know, like 2 years.
Yeah.
I haven't touched it like once. And so this is how, like, long it's been. I didn't even know you could do fun stuff like actually screen record directly from the PlayStation. I was like at first standing in front of the TV recording it on my cell phone like a 90-year-old woman. I was just like, oh, the girl's gonna love this on TikTok or Twitter. And he was like, I can just export like a high quality version. And I was like, yeah, do that.
Yeah, the girls are gonna like that even more. Damn.
Yeah. So everybody say thank you, Chris.
My goal is to have a Roscoe backpack that floats behind me.
Yeah, for your dog?
I need that. Like, I won't dance because my dog, that would be torture for my dog.
Yeah.
But it'd be dope as hell to carry my dog around in that little floating little backpack thing.
Absolutely.
While you've been playing Fortnite, I've been playing F123, putting in those laps in,
Yeah.
Probably put in like, probably like 120 laps on the sim yesterday, to really understand the track.
You're trying to, yeah, exactly.
So, so I'm here with all expert
from a
analysis
professional
only.
absolutely. Absolutely.
Only. I'm not here as a podcaster. I'm basically a sim driver at this point.
Gotcha.
So, I'm here with all
we appreciate
the
that.
details.
Yeah.
Everything. Yeah. You know what we also appreciate? Everyone listening, everyone who's here. We've been gone for a little bit. We come by, we leave, we come back. We're like really just trying to drive the demand is what we're trying to do here, I think people need to miss us a little bit more. They
absolutely. Yeah. Too available. So
too available. That's our problem.
Yeah.
That's our problem, Yeah. I am ecstatic about one thing more than anything.
Which is?
And it's that there's no sprint this weekend. There's just no sprints.
Thank God. Because could you imagine on top of everything?
Could you imagine?
On top of everything.
Well, FP1 wouldn't have been canceled. Oh, wait, no, it would have been canceled.
It would have been canceled, yeah.
You're right. Yeah. Speaking of, let's just get right into it. Man, I am excited to talk about Vegas, okay?
Are you?
Yes, because there has been so many things happening this weekend.
Yeah.
Some good. Almave, Lewis Hamilton pictures. Man looks fantastic.
Yeah. The arms are arming.
It's not fair that he gets to dress that way.
Yeah.
Is all I'm saying. Like, I wish I could.
You could. Nobody's stopping you.
I guess what I'm saying is I'm jealous of Lewis. But I guess that's a pretty normal thing.
Yeah.
Nah. What's been your favorite, like, any collab? Literally any collab. You already said the Fortnite one, which really is a great answer because it's really, really good. But anything like special that's happened in the weekend, apart from Formula One, that's been pretty cool? I can give you an example as well. What you think as well?
Yeah, go ahead.
I really, 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 really like the Alpine Palace jackets that they have on. The team They did a collab with Palace and Kappa.
Okay.
And they're all wearing like special is not maybe the right word, but they're all wearing merch that was made for Vegas. And the Alpine Palace race jacket or whatever that the team is wearing, love it.
Nice.
Yeah.
I don't think I've seen them. I mean, honestly, like I feel like I haven't been paying like too much attention to the upcoming collabs. I will say, I feel like I'm in the minority of this, but like I actually do like the varsity jackets that Red Bull came up with the leather sleeve. The only thing I don't love is like the big Oracle Red Bull Racing on the front. It's just like awkwardly placed. Like it doesn't feel like somebody actually took the time to design it, which I mean, I feel like that's the vibe of everything related to F1. But I'm like, I like I just love a varsity jacket. Like,
I agree.
They're lovely.
I agree.
Yeah.
Did you get anything from this is a sore subject for you and I.
I don't want to talk. If you're going to ask me about Plus 44, I don't want to talk about it.
We are not discussing that today. I don't want to talk
about it. No.
We are not talking about that today.
No. Pass.
Okay.
Sore topic.
Okay. So
no, Mario, let me tell you something. I finally got my order shipped out. It made it to my post office.
Oh God.
They sent that shit back to Los Angeles because the address on my package apparently was not correct. And I went to
Chris got a shirt. Didn't he order it?
We ordered it 2 separate orders because when we were the first day, it was like everything was going so fast. So we were like, okay, you place your order. Boom, he's done. And then I replaced my order because it just seemed easier than trying to like put stuff in the cart and then it would disappear out of the cart. So that's why he got his already and I haven't gotten mine. But yeah. And the crazy shit is they emailed me to be like, hey, what's your address? So I confirmed the address. And then they were like, great, we're shipping it out to you. And then it made it all the way here to my freaking state, to my post office. And now it's back in Los Angeles. And has anybody emailed me back regarding my order? No. So I don't want to talk about it.
So did you get any Murakami merch?
I cannot stand you. Yeah, we did actually. But yeah, it's neither here nor there.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, of course.
I did too.
I have the attention span of a gnat. Like, what do you...
I'm weak like that. I literally emailed Plus 44 like, hey, I just put in another order.
Right.
But like, I'm waiting for my other order.
Right.
So just let me know.
Put them in the same box if you want. Like, just ship them at the same time.
I personally would not mind. But I feel like it's, I hate to use the word unfair again, but how are you going to get me with a Murakami drop? It's the only drop.
He knew.
The only way they were going to get me back in.
Yeah.
Because you fucked me. Shame on me. Fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice, not going to get fooled again.
And yet.
Murakami drops and I'm like, my name is a fool and I will be right there.
Right.
I got some stuff too. I hate my life.
This is the last time though. No more shit.
This is the last time.
No more money. Until the next thing he launches.
Until he releases another fucking thing. And then it's like, okay, I'll get that.
Yeah.
I guess we can talk about Formula One.
Yeah.
Racing or whatever.
Sure. Yeah. That's fine.
Yeah, right. So this weekend, like we said, Las Vegas GP, first time in actually driving on the strip. I think we haven't been in Vegas 38 years is what they said last time, but the race was in like fake place made up of fake racing and fake everything. And now it's super real because we're in the strip. And yeah, we are going to talk a little bit about a very important session, which is rare for us. But we got to talk about free practice.
Ooh.
Because like it was
eventful,
just long enough for me to actually pay attention the whole time.
Like, what if they were all this short, like...
Right? What if we just had 9-minute FP1s every time?
Yeah. That's enough practice, right? Surely.
Right?
Yeah.
So we had a little snafu in FP1 where 9 minutes into the session, give or take, Carlos Sainz drives over, what would you call it? Like a drain?
Drain cover? Yeah, I think it's just like
a drain cover. Exactly. So he drives over a drain cover. And this has been a thing that has happened in Formula One before. They said that it happened in Monaco one time, but Baku. But when you see it, and this happened to me, like I watched it over F1 TV, whatever, and it looked so harmless, almost like the car got screwed and everything, but like it didn't look as as, I guess, intense as when that slow motion video came out, where it's almost like it's blowing up, like as he passes over it.
Yeah.
You were mentioning that Carlos Sainz wasn't feeling too great after.
Yeah. I think Max told Dutch media something like Carlos couldn't feel his legs for a few seconds after the impact, which is like crazy.
What was the FIA's focus? Always, forever and always?
Safety first.
Driver safety.
See, but the thing is though, we don't get to this point until we start with the opening ceremony of F1 Las Vegas, right? Like they had this huge concert the night before, which was coincidentally when they were supposed to inspect the track. And there was actually a tweet that everybody agreed just aged like milk. Where it was basically like that. I'll just read it. It's from Jenna at Jenna Fryer. She says, the FIA requires tracks to pass inspection at least one day before cars are on track. Because of last-minute finishes and the track not being closed to traffic until late last night, the inspection of Las Vegas was not completed until early this morning, but it has passed. And
did it?
So I don't know what they were inspecting it with. Like, I just
they were probably driving an RC car over it, and they're like, "This is basically the same thing, right?"
Yeah, it's good. Yeah.
So FP1 gets canceled because of that. and then I guess I'll jump to like FP2 gets delayed, and then we start hearing about people being relocated before FP2.
Yeah.
So thoughts on you are hanging out in the track, you paid for your ticket, you're sitting down, you just lost FP1 because it lasted 9 minutes, and now you are waiting about 3 hours for FP2, gets delayed, and then Las Vegas police, contracted by I don't actually, I'm not going to say that because I'm not sure who put them there, but Las Vegas police comes up and starts throwing people out before FP2.
Yeah.
The reasoning FIA has been saying is because of safety, and like it was getting super late, and because it was getting super late, people that are driving, etc., need to get back, need to drive. They reached the allotted amount of hours that you can safely drive. You need to change the track because of the people, etc. But the FIA puts out a statement, and I'm saying all of this just to give you the floor, Tasha. What are your thoughts on the FIA statement and how the FIA really handled? Maybe FP1 will keep it aside because it was canceled, whatever. But how do you think it was handled, the FP2 delay, what they did to the people, and then actually FP2 happening, et cetera? Any thoughts on that?
I mean, I don't know. I think it wasn't handled well at all. And, like I said, when you prioritize this big opening ceremony and, everything's so last minute, that's kind of been the sentiment leading up to F1. They're rushed. The paddock wasn't even finished until like 2 weeks ago, maybe a week ago.
2 weeks ago, yeah.
Something crazy. So it's like everything is so last minute, and everything can't be done well when you're rushing and so then I also feel like because of that, because of just the amount of like trouble that F1 has kind of caused Las Vegas, like, people can't get to work. They're blacking out windows. Like it's a whole,
We've
died.
heard it, and we've been seeing this. It's been building up this whole time. We've been seeing all this, like the inconvenience of it.
The inconvenience. I mean, and then again, somebody died, while this was being built as well. So there's just like been the vibe has not been great from the locals to F1. And for all of that, you get to the very first time, the very first session where cars are going to be on track, and it doesn't even last 10 minutes. I just feel like it's just, how do you even like begin to describe like the incompetence of it all? You know what I mean? You put people through that much shit, and then you can't even provide a service, the reason why we're all there. So like as a fan, I feel like if I was there, because the other issue with this situation is that these tickets were not cheap. Hotels was not cheap. Accommodations were not cheap. Getting there was not cheap. So, a lot of people spent tons of money just to be there. Some people came just for the day. Some people came just for the FP1. And then you don't get to see it. And then F1 doesn't really communicate to people like, hey, we need to now inspect all the drain holes on the whole track, which could take who knows how long. So you're just sitting there at 12 p.m. local time to Vegas. It's cold, it's dark. You really can't go do anything because it's not accessible to, outside stuff.
Literally, exactly. Yeah.
So you have your choices are to like stay in your seat or like go spend money on these expensive ass concessions that are everywhere, go buy expensive merch. But again, you don't have really any idea of what's happening. So you wait and wait and wait. And then around 2 a.m. local time, you're basically being kicked out of all the spaces. And like, for me, I'm like, that is so unreal that this has been hyped for 2 years. 2 years. This is F1's crown jewel. 2 years.
Literally.
And you have people who spent life savings to be here and spent their time and everything. And it's just like, yeah, unceremoniously getting kicked out because you guys couldn't inspect the track.
I really want to talk about like you mentioned it. I really want to like emphasize the fact that I wasn't familiar with this, and then we went to Austin, and I learned one of the things that I learned being in Austin is like it's actually a normal or a common thing for people to be like, I don't have enough money for the 3-day passes.
Right.
So I'm going to go watch FP1, FP2. I get to watch cars on track. I get to be in the environment. I get to be in the atmosphere. I get to be part of the track, not part of the track, part of the GP and everything.
Yeah.
And that makes a lot of sense to me. Like we had a great time all 3 days in Austin. So I'm really bothered by that could have been a lot of people's only day in the Las Vegas GP.
Right.
After I spent a shit ton of money to get there, after I traveled, after I got the hotel, after I did all these things, my one chance to be on track, look, let's be real. The FP1 thing isn't anybody's fault. It's the FIA's fault.
Right.
But like, it's happened before. We'll delay it, whatever. Fine. Okay. I'll brush through that. But kicking me out, a paying customer, by the police, even if the police were the nicest people in the world. Optically, I hate that. Optically, I would feel terrible being the person kicked out when I've done everything that I can to at least be part of this environment, be part of this Grand Prix. And I just think it's demeaning as fuck to just have someone kick you out like that.
Yeah.
And last thing I'll say is like to echo what you said is like, no heads up. No, FP1 is over. I don't think we're going to do FP2, guys. It's going to get delayed. We got to check this. We got to check that. No. You sit your ass and you wait for FP2. And before FP2 happens, we're going to kick you out. It's.
They could have told them at midnight that they could have gone. You know what I mean? Like they could have just been like, "Hey, we don't. If this happens, I guess I just feel like some kind of like realistic expectation should have been set at that point. Like, there's potential that we may still go through with FP2, but it's looking like it might not happen just based off the amount of work that we have to do to repair the track. Like you are more than welcome to start heading out. We can offer partial refunds, which is the other issue that I feel like is such a slap in the face.
No apology, Tasha.
No apology.
Not a fucking apology.
No refunds, no nothing. And I'm just like, and yes, people will say that, F1 is they always do this. They never offer refunds, blah, 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 blah. I really don't care because at the end of the day, you're coming into a brand new market, a brand new state, a brand new city that you've already terrorized these people. You know what I'm saying?
That's a great fucking word.
It's like at the least you can do, you can compensate people for what they spent to be there and they did not receive what they paid for. Like that's just basic customer service. And
like basic service.
And for me, I just feel like, with F1, their whole thing of like, people are just like these endless bank accounts that they can just like drain and give nothing in like service to that. It's just like kind of bizarre to me. And it's like we're in an age where everybody can see in 4K what you're doing. Right? Like if you think that people are gonna not want their money back after 8 minutes of a session for a track basically not fucking inspected and something and granted, okay, you could say they inspected it looked fine and this still happened, fine, but it still looks negligent to me because you had all these other priorities before the race.
Exactly.
And then you left it last minute. You know what I'm saying? Like if the track was completed a couple of days ago and you'd already done all these checks, You know what I mean? Like it would be something completely different. But you're saying basically the track was inspected the same day that they drove on it, when that's not typically the protocol. So to me, that just looks very negligent and like just
You can't
strange.
convince me.
Yeah.
You cannot convince me of a time crunch because you were focused on so many other things.
Absolutely.
Like you were setting up those stages, you were setting up those fancy lights, you were doing so many other things that aren't
related to the track. Yeah.
Track safety related.
Yeah.
So it's like, no, go ahead.
No, I mean, this is what we were talking about earlier. Well, off, agreeing with Max, when he talked about the fact that it's 99% show, 1% racing. But this is exactly that shining example of like, you guys spent why the hell was Keith Urban and Andra Day and Will.i.am?
You keep Keith Urban's don't you talk about Keith Urban.
Like, but you know what I'm saying? Like that was a priority. That was a priority, and not making sure that drain hole covers weren't secured on the track. Like,
here's something I don't think anyone said on the Quick Stop F1 podcast. Tasha, let's talk about how Max Verstappen is right and how Toto Wolff is wrong.
Yeah.
Max has said, look, let's not be dramatic. Max is part of the sport. Max is a big part of the sport. His opinions are hit or miss. His opinions have been hitting this weekend.
Yeah.
He's had a lot of criticism towards the Las Vegas GP being a show, like you said. And that first day felt like it, where we're having Keith Urban and friends just all do the show, and then we have 20 seconds of the drivers saying hi
and leaving.
Like any driver in that position, I would feel like, am I a fucking clown? Like maybe not as aggressive as clown, but like, I'm waiting all day here to then just come out 20 seconds and say hello. I feel like that's a waste of my time. Max has said that, what else has he said? He said, we haven't even mentioned, or I think we briefly mentioned, that after this FP1 thing happened, Carlos Sainz's car needs to be repaired.
Destroyed, yeah.
Obviously, we need to repair the car, but we give Carlos Sainz a penalty for the car that he needs to repair for the thing that you did?
So Ferrari had to change his chassis, the ICE, energy store, and control electronics. And basically, because typically, I guess, when you're past your allotted amount of parts, for certain parts, you get a grid penalty. So they gave him a 10-place grid penalty for changing his battery. And it's like, come on now.
The difference is typically they give these penalties out to drivers who actually, like, their units stop working or like they push them too hard. Not the FIA is negligent and my car got fucked.
Right.
Like I saw the post-quali press conference, and I mentioned to you, Carlos Sainz was like so PR ready for this moment.
Yeah.
But it's so fucked. Like he spoke very well, but like it makes no sense how we're penalizing Ferrari and him for something that
was in this particular case.
Yeah. In this particular, it has nothing to do with his driving, had nothing to do with his racing line, with his speed, nothing.
Yeah.
It just had to do with a lack of inspection on the FIA side.
Yeah.
So Max goes off and says a lot of things. Something else that I really liked that he said was, like you mentioned, it seems like we're all just focused on the show here. We're not focused on the actual racing. He had a really, I think, a cool little monologue about when he was a kid and him being interested in sport and wanting to be a world champion. He didn't see things as they are now, where it's like such a spectacle. And then Toto Wolff, which I'm not sure what's up with him, but he went on that press conference and we talked about this. He seemed very like aggressive, very defensive, to the point where it's the funny thing to say, but to me it seems he's more mad about the FP1 hate than the Abu Dhabi thing.
Right.
Like, what are your thoughts with how Toto's been handling this whole thing? Has it been weird to you?
I mean, it was definitely weird to see him so bent out of shape. I've never seen him that irritated and loud basically before, like in that kind of setting. But I think for me, when it comes to like a lot of the leadership in F1, and I will say even sometimes drivers, like there's this idea that criticism is just not allowed. And for me, I just feel like that's just no way for the sport to grow, because if you're not receptive to valid critique, you know what I mean? Like, how do you change? How do you grow and change? Because if we're saying that precedent has been set before on street tracks where drain hole covers have come up and come, like, wouldn't you pay more attention to that for this time, especially for the inaugural event? Like, there's just something about everybody never being able to say or call a spade, the critique is what is the offensive thing. Like, that's the part I don't like. I don't like seeing Toto get bent out of shape at journalists asking valid questions. Like, this has been a whole ordeal. F1 has made a gigantic deal about this race, and we didn't even make it 10 minutes into a practice session. So it's like somebody needs to come up with some answers beyond, oh, well, that shit happens. Because that's not okay. We've spent almost $400-500 million to make this happen. Shit happens is not a valid response to people being frustrated or people being, rightfully critiquing, what's actually happening. Because at the end of the day, yes, that you could say free practice doesn't matter that much, blah, blah, which is crazy for fucking Toto Wolff to say, by the way. Like, we need all the practice.
Yeah, you need them. You need those practices, Toto. Okay.
W14.
You should be asking about. You should be asking about FP4 and when the fuck FP4 is gonna happen, because you need that shit.
Right. So, like, chill out a little bit. We do need to practice. But yeah, I'm like, what is your problem? And also, to everybody kind of picked up on the same thing. It's like, bro, do you have money on this? Like, what's your problem?
I'm conspiracy theory hat on. Like, Toto is way too offended by all of this happening. Toto was way too aggressive, and conspiracy theorist Mario is like, this man is going to work for the FIA in the future.
He sounds like he's lobbying for that position. Yes, absolutely.
like it just makes it objectively makes no sense that I never saw you this angry about Abu Dhabi.
Yeah.
And I see you this angry.
He was about crowd surfing after Abu Dhabi. So the switch up is very
ridiculous.
Very jarring. Yeah.
Like, and I just want to say again, like, I love what you said is like, bro, you need practice.
Yeah.
You need practice. Like, I don't know what you're talking about. Like, no practice.
Yeah.
We do need to talk about practice. We absolutely need to talk about practice.
Yeah. God. We saw what happened just the race before with one practice under our belt. Like, can you stop being so fucking delusional for 1 second, please? Like,
it really does give like too much skin in the game, too much investment to not let, he didn't come off to me as
conflict of interest.
There you go. Mm-hmm. That's it. Like, that's it. You hear Kristen Horner talk and criticize and shit, and you're like, oh, that dude's so annoying. Yeah. But I have never been in like, is this man a Red Bull man or a FIA man? He's always Red Bull man. Christian Horner is always annoying Red Bull man.
Right.
But like, Toto Wolff came off as FIA man, not Mercedes man week. Yeah. Yeah. Money man.
Mogul man.
Mr. Please the board. But it is true. Like, amazing job, everybody who put this together, 100%.
Absolutely.
But to me, it's like,
still,
I don't know if I've used this recently, but you're on a sinking boat. Yeah. If the FIA is on a sinking boat, and like, first thing they threw out to stop sinking was the people. First thing they threw out was the experience of the fan, because they're like, oh, shit happens. But we addressed it.
Yeah.
Forget the fact that we addressed it by giving you a 9-minute FP and kicking you out before FP2.
Yeah.
But like, we addressed it. It's fixed. It's not fixed. Yeah. It's not fixed. And then
the Titanic was built well too. Shit. I mean, they could say that, you know what I mean? And stop that iceberg from ripping a hole in the side of that shit. Like, you can thank the people.
Boat,
listen,
any boat would have gotten hit by that iceberg. Any boat would have gotten hit by that iceberg.
You can thank all the people you want. It doesn't matter. Like, I mean, yes, it matters, but it's also like, sometimes the boat still sinks. To your point. So it's weird.
And all we're criticizing, all the journalist people, like, all the journalists are doing is asking the right questions.
Yeah.
And like,
questions
if Carlos Sainz has to field questions, which he did, about what do you think about this penalty? How do you feel about this penalty? Which the only answer should be fucking irate.
Yeah.
Fuck this sport. Fuck everything. like if he has to answer those questions,
Yeah.
I don't think it's a problem that Toto needs to answer. Toto
Yeah.
and team principals and people in general around F1
Yeah.
need to answer like
What
if
happened?
if this happens in 2024, are we supposed to be like this happen? Oh, this happens.
Yeah.
If this happens in 2024, the standard is high enough that like if this were to happen in 2024, we'd be having a field day about how shitty it is. So like, why pretend that in 2023 it's okay? Why pretend that it's fine if like in any other race that it happens, we'd be like, this is bullshit.
Yeah.
Too much skin in him. I don't know where he's going. I don't know where he's going.
I mean, I feel like this whole season, his vibe has just been very like weird and
corporate,
very self-serving, and yeah, he had like I said multiple times in the past, like I just wish he'd stop talking. This is like one of those times where I just really do wish he would stop talking, because you don't need to be putting yourself on the train tracks for Formula One. Like after what they did to Lewis Hamilton, you're on in your team. They're the last person you need to be like dying on a hill for. So yeah, I think when people say like, oh, it looks like he has skin in the game, you put all that in the context. You know what I'm saying? Like a whole sport can fuck you over, and then you're still willing to tap dance like this, make yourself look that fucking crazy when you never looked that uncomposed before. You know? So yeah,
that's a problem. Toto Wolff is so like well put together all the time.
Yeah.
That when you see him like this, I love what you just said, because it's true. Like he's basically making himself the non-FIA target.
Yeah.
For this situation.
Yeah.
By coming out like
he should have let them be because this is on them.
The right people should have. Yeah. So why not let it be Stefano? Why not just shut the fuck up and let? Because this is weird. Congratulations to him whenever he does become the FIA, whatever the fuck he's going to become in the future. Anything else you want to talk about of those free practices? The statement by the FIA, Max Verstappen's comments.
No, I just want to say, well, to the statement of the FIA, I think it's bullshit. Yeah. The fact that they didn't even apologize to the fans or offer refunds. They gave them a fucking $200 voucher to the Formula One Las Vegas GP merch store, which is crazy. Like that, egregious. Like I would fight. Second thing Max said that I have agreed with this weekend is, if I was them, I'd burn it all down. And I'm going to have to go ahead and say that is some shit I would do. Yeah. You're not going to take my money and then give me a voucher. Like for
we talked about this before.
Nah.
We talked about pre-show. I think Chris mentioned it. It's like they only gave that voucher to people who had a one-day pass.
Yeah.
For Friday.
More crazy. Yeah.
But then how do one-day pass people go in and redeem voucher if I only have one-day pass?
Yeah, exactly. It's giving scam. Gonna have to. Yeah, it's giving.
And that's what I'm saying.
Fraud.
It's like a problem happens, and the first thing I'm gonna throw off ship is the fan experience.
Yeah.
Everything else I'm gonna keep, but like it almost looks like they're just adamant on not focusing on the sport and fucking over the fans, which is a great recipe to grow a sport.
Absolutely. Recipe. And the last thing I'll say on this topic is because of the greed that F1 has exhibited, we have a class action lawsuit on the books. And this is Saturday, by the way, guys. So like, imagine getting sued on a Saturday, like,
I hate being that lawyer, answering the phone to his client. What's up? Are we suing someone on a Saturday?
Today?
Who are we on a Saturday? Who are we suing?
Saturday.
The whole FIA? Bitch, that's a Monday thing.
The day before I guess the day before, a few hours before the Grand Prix. You're getting sued because you didn't want to refund people, which was the right thing to do.
Yeah.
And now you're going to
imagine that. The FIA learning that they're not the only ones with deep pockets.
Yeah. What? Yeah. I mean, that's my thing. It's like, okay, yes, there's people there who probably could not afford all 3 days, but there were a lot of rich people there. Like there's people who have lawyers and legal teams and shit on retainer. Like you can't just fuck everybody over, like yeah, the lower class, we might not be able to,
We can't afford a lawyer on a Saturday.
We can't get a lawyer on a Saturday.
Stewart, Rod fucking Stewart, he pulls up with 2 lawyers.
Gordon
on a Saturday.
Ramsay and shit. Yeah, like don't be fucking with them.
Rich
on rich crime. I can't wait to see it. I really can't wait to see it.
Shut the fuck up. What do you mean rich on rich crime? Richards, listening to this episode, we don't mean you.
Yeah.
We don't mean you.
I mean, I can't wait to see the litigation. It's going to be fun.
We're actually going to become a legal podcast now. We are going to follow all litigation.
After 7 seasons of Suits, I am well versed in corporate law.
7?
Yeah. Haven't you?
I couldn't handle too many. When people started leaving the show, I was like, eh.
No.
When Meghan Markle left, it was like, okay, I get it. She needs to go marry a prince. She's busy. She's got way more important things to do than be on this show and look goddamn amazing in it. But then I think Mike Ross left as well. And look.
Oh, don't spoil it for the people who haven't seen it.
Oh, you're right. You're right. I'm sorry. Harvey is a beautiful man, though.
Yeah. And Jessica Pearson.
Does anyone pull off the
no?
I don't know how to say this, but the way she dresses in that show, it's almost like the clothes were like made, like she just stood there.
Yeah, and
people
like
just made the clothes
her,
around her. Like she slays in every fucking outfit she wears in that show. It's ridiculous.
It's amazing.
Meghan Markle as well, but it's a different slaying, I think, between them two.
Yeah, because they were in different tax brackets as well. You know, Jessica owned the law firm, so she had more money. I can go into this all day, so let's probably switch to the actual Formula One.
Yeah. So after the canceled FP1, we actually had our 30 FP2 and then FP3. All we're gonna say about practice is that it happened.
Yeah.
Now, moving on to qualifying.
Yeah.
So we are going to try a little bit something new this time. We are just gonna go and talk about some takeaways during qualifying, right? So qualifying starts and qualifying 1 comes around and we lose 5 drivers. As we do, we don't lose 5 drivers. I hate when I say that. 5 drivers were eliminated during Q1.
Hunger Games canon.
I can't say that now because this shit.
We lose,
look, that show seemed like a Hunger Game intro.
It really was.
Like that shit was a Hunger Game intro. So 5 drivers eliminated in Quali 1. Those were from 16 through 20. Lando Norris, Esteban Ocon, Zhou Guan Yu, Oscar Piastri, and Yuki Tsunoda. Are there any 2 drivers that are more homies than Oscar Piastri and Lando Norris?
Yeah. They were like...
They win together. They lose together. They midfield together. They do it all together.
They really are like the epitome of like ride or die. Like we're going to win. We're going to lose. Yeah.
Surprised by McLaren this season?
That was probably the biggest kind of shock of Q1 really was just not being able to kind of get it together. People who don't know, the track was really cold. You know, the temperature was really cold. It's what, like midnight Las Vegas time. So it's pretty cold. Tire temperature is a huge issue. The cars are just like sliding around. So everybody kind of struggled to get it together, but it was definitely interesting that McLaren weren't able to still find a way to like make something happen. Yeah. So it was kind of, it was a little bit of a shock.
You could see them. I hate that I said that I'm going to skip practice and then reference practice, but you could see that during practice, like McLaren was not feeling it. I know Lando, I saw 2 interviews with Lando and Lando was very like, this isn't our weekend. This isn't going to happen. Like, this is not a good track for us. My naivete, I was surprised at like, how are you this good on so many weekends? And then this weekend they're terrible this weekend. It's fine to say they're terrible this weekend because they are terrible this weekend. They've been great other weekends.
Yeah. But
it's crazy how much, I guess, the track matters, that you can go from I'm killing it the last 5 weekends to I'm going to just be back here with Yuki and friends.
Right.
Like, so.
Yeah, it's jarring.
It was very jarring for me. Absolutely. Real quick, in FP1, not FP1, I'm sorry, in Q1, I found it very interesting. The F1 TV broadcast shows showed a little snafu between Max and Ocon.
Yeah.
And then they show Max saying that Ocon is an idiot for whatever he just did.
Right.
But if you look further, and I think Multiviewer on Twitter had it, Ocon fucked Max over way before that second thing happened between Max and Ocon. So like Ocon overtook him in Q1.
Right.
And Max was kind of like an ass because Ocon started it.
So then if we rewind back slightly further, Max basically was backing up half the grid. So essentially,
I'm sorry?
Max himself was backing up half the grid. Mind you, I think he was already in like P3 or something at this point. So he didn't really need to do another lap. He was pretty much safe. So he was backing everybody up. And Ocon did what Max would do, which is when he sees a slow car, he goes around them. We saw this in the last race. He passed 3 people in the pit lane because he was like, I'm not staying here. I'm leaving. So when it happens to him, now it's like, oh, well, got to retaliate.
Interesting.
And that's actually what happened, was that Max was slow. Ocon passed him, which is fine because he did it in a safe way. And then Max decided to just dive bomb. Yeah. And then
that's crazy.
And that of all the shit I've agreed with him this weekend, I don't agree with that.
Not that one.
I think that's safe to say that was not cool to do. And I think it's interesting because it's like later Max was like, yeah, essentially like he something like he overtook me. So I just basically ruined his session.
That's
and because that behavior. He's such an asshole. I'm like, it's so unnecessary because you were fine. You didn't really need that extra lap.
And Ocon did not make it past
Ocon did. And and then GP gets on. He's like, yeah, he didn't make it. I was going to say.
He's like, Max, just so you know, just you and me. You and me here. Max, nobody's listening to us. This is you and me here, baby. Right. Just you and me, Max. Just so you know, that motherfucker didn't make it.
He didn't make
that
it.
That fucker didn't make it. He didn't make it. He didn't make it. He thought he could, but he didn't. But nobody's listening to us, Max. This is you and me. But he didn't make it.
So anyway.
I feel like this is a Russian nesting doll of like, I thought it was one thing, then it was another thing, then it was another thing. I guess we can go back to Max as an asshole on track.
Yeah. You see what happens when people cherry pick little clips and they're like, this is what happened.
No, absolutely. We didn't run this by. We didn't do this pre-show, by the way. This is
We're doing this live.
Correction.
Yeah.
This is a live correction. So this is good. This is really good. Fact checking live. That's fucking great.
Yeah. Community noted. You just got community noted on your own.
On my own fucking show. On my own. By the way, everybody, I say my own show like Tasha and I co-host, but officially in the Riverside call, I am a guest.
Right.
And she is a host. I am a guest on this show. She is the host.
You gotta let that hurt go, Mario. You gotta let that go.
I will not let that hurt go. I will not. Just like Carlos Sainz won't ever let this little penalty go.
Right.
No. It's all love. It's all love, even though I'm the guest. So qualifying 2 comes around.
Yeah.
No, and so 5 drivers eliminated in Q2, and man, what will we talk about these? Number 11 is Lewis Hamilton, then Sergio Perez, Nico Hülkenberg, Lance Stroll, and Daniel Ricciardo. Like I always like to do, super random asking you, nothing like no bias, nothing on purpose. Just gonna pick up a random driver. What do you think about Lewis Hamilton leaving at being eliminated at 11?
Why are you like? I feel like every single time this happens, I'm just like, here's where I'm at personally. This is the race before penultimate race? Is that
this is the penultimate race?
Penultimate race. I love using big vocabulary words. So I feel dead inside, as in terms of like, like there's nothing left for me.
There were feelings in here, and now there are none.
Like P2s in the drivers, we're done with that. That's dead. We're constructors is, like it's just we're just racing cars at this point. So I don't feel anything. I didn't even realize it was happening until I didn't realize. I was like, is Lewis P11? I was like, what the hell? Like, mind you, here's why I really was like delirious. Is because it's 4 a.m.
You thought it was 1 a.m.
In my own country, I'm watching a fucking qualifying at 4 a.m. Okay.
How does that make you feel, Tasha?
It makes me enraged. I have no clue what day it is. I don't know where I'm at. I don't know who I am. Like, I don't even know if I ate this weekend. I'm being so serious. Like, waking up and going to sleep at random ass hours. Like, and what is it, like 2 weeks after daylight saving? Like, I'm just disoriented. So Yeah, I thought it was just hallucinating at first. I was like, oh, wow, P11? Okay. Snake eyes,
I just slept.
Yeah.
I just slept and watched it this morning.
Yeah. That was a smart thing to do.
That's what I did.
Yeah.
So
anyway.
Mercedes hasn't looked good in the practices, but like I was surprised by Lewis 11th, and when he came up on the radio with Bono, he said I was going as fast as I could. And it's like, I hate to hear that shit.
It's like last race where Bono came over the radio and he was like, all right, Lewis, you can use the tires now. And Lewis was like, I've been using them for the last 5 laps. Like, there's nothing. There's no speed.
There's nothing left here, my guy.
In this car. That's that's it.
We need to address something though.
What's up?
You think Lewis was too tired to qualify?
I don't know.
Man was sleeping in the driver's meeting, which, by the way, let me just say, I have so much fucking respect for Lewis because he loses sleep. He loses sleep doing the Almave and the Murakami thing. So he's getting paid to lose sleep.
Right.
And then he's like, I'm going to catch up on my sleep when they pay
at my
me
job.
As well.
Yeah.
So he's catching up on being paid to sleep, being paid to not sleep. The man has figured it out.
Yeah.
He figured it out.
He's like, what are they going to do? Kick me out?
I love him. Just falling asleep in the fucking, just falling asleep. Yeah. I also love, I think your tweet, I think this was your tweet. You worded it. No. Denny worded it like, Checo caught Lewis Hamilton sleeping.
Yeah.
And all I could think of, this is the only way Checo can catch Lewis. It's the only thing he can.
Wow.
Boom, boom. I'm so sorry, everybody. I'm so sorry.
You're out of here. Yeah.
Yeah. Checo, 12th. Interesting. Is it?
That's just par for the course at this point. Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
So not surprising.
I hate that Checo got it together just enough to cement that he was P2 in drivers, and now he's back to 12.
Flopping,
even though, love to see it. So, Danny Rick made 15th. All I want to say about Danny Rick is I did not see his dope ass helmet until last night.
Yeah.
He's got a really fucking cool helmet.
Yeah.
It's chrome and it's blue fires. And
I did see it. It's nice.
I really like it. It's really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's all I'll say about him. So then we move on to the starting grid. We're chaotic today.
My God.
We move on to the, I guess, top 10.
Mm-hmm.
This isn't how the grid is going to start because of the penalties, but we'll get to that.
Yeah.
So number 1 through 10th is Charles Leclerc, Carlos Sainz, Max Verstappen, George Russell, Pierre Gasly, Alex Albon, Logan, America, Sargent, Valtteri Bottas, Kevin Magnussen, and Fernando Alonso. This is what I'm going to ask you because we talked about this pre-show and I fucking loved the exercise.
Yes.
The start for tomorrow's race looks so fucking good because starting, and I'm going to tell you the top 5. You can tell me what you think about it. Our top 5 tomorrow, our starting 5 tomorrow is Charles Leclerc, Verstappen, Russell, Gasly, and Albon.
Yeah.
That's our starting 5 tomorrow. Tasha, will there be chaos?
Yeah. 1,000%.
That is a fucking volatile mix of people.
I mean, again, you got to think the track is cold. The tires are cold. I don't know. I don't see a world where we're not getting like an accident at the start. Now, I don't know if it's going to be these 5.
Yeah. I got others for you too. I
just don't see how we get through the first lap without an accident. I really don't.
I don't see, and we talked to Chris was talking to about this as well, is like, I don't see those 5 starting and not ending up on a lap 1 safety car.
Yeah.
Like, I don't see Max at second without going like all in for first. I don't see Russell. I do not see Russell being like, oh, I'm third. I'm going to stay third. Third is nice.
He's forecasting for a podium in his mind. So it's all to play for, as he says. Yeah. He's not letting that shit go. Yeah.
He wakes up every day with a forecast of podium.
Exactly.
I am very interested by Pierre Gasly in 4th.
Yeah.
Like,
Ariana, what are you doing here? Yeah.
I'm like, what? Like, I wonder if he'll be patient and understand I am an Alpine and I'm not supposed to be here, but I don't think he will.
I don't think so.
I don't think he will. So we move on a little bit lower. By the way, we must say, good job, Logan Sargent.
Yeah.
Good job. Look at you.
No jokes this week. Seriously. Good job.
I got nothing for you.
He did great all 3 sessions.
All 3 sessions. And James Vowles came out later and he said, that's how you do it, Logan.
So that's my boy.
Logan.
Yeah. You my boy,
Logan
Blue?
You my boy, Blue. You're my boy. That's how we do it, Blue. I engineer comes in and tells Logan, you're 7th, but you're 6th because of the penalty.
Right.
And Logan pops off. And I am sure that those people did not understand what Logan said. Because Logan popped off in the most American pop-off I've ever seen. And the engineer says, enjoy yourself, mate. Like, yeah.
What did he say? I feel like I didn't catch it.
He didn't say anything bad. He just yelled really loud and like, let's go, like something like that's what we do.
Yeehaw, yeah.
Stuff.
Snap into a Slim Jim, yeah.
Kool-Aid guy just comes in. Oh yeah.
Welcome to America, yeah.
There's America here.
All that for P6. Oh my god.
Fucking fireworks, the whole thing, and then suddenly it's like Logan has a participation ribbon.
Right. Thanks for showing up. Yeah.
What I meant to say is good job, Logan. You did it.
Yes, sorry.
Okay. Another section of the track, another section of the starting grid that I am fascinated by. Number 9, Fernando Alonso.
Yeah.
Lewis Hamilton 10th. Checo 11th. Carlos Sainz 12th. Those 4 drivers will not, I don't see how those 4 drivers are staying there. I don't see it.
Yeah.
I see those 4 drivers. I'm happy that Alonso is in the front because I feel like Alonso would be the most aggressive of them. So like that eliminates, I think, risk. But
we'll see.
I see those 4 drivers there. I see a Carlos Sainz who's pissed off and knows that he put it in fucking P2. And I'm starting 12th. So I have a Carlos Sainz who's frustrated, rightfully so.
Yeah.
I have a Checo who has an existential crisis of life every time he fucking puts in an 11th, even though you have a Red Bull. We have a well-rested Lewis Hamilton, hopefully. That's some spicy stuff there. Yeah. I really, really like the starting grid for this race.
And then you're sandwiched in between those guys in between 2 Haas's. So
damn, I didn't even notice that's right. The Haas's.
Yeah.
I don't know. I see Logan. Again, Logan, good job.
Yeah.
I see Logan, Valtteri, and Kevin Magnussen 6, 7, 8, and I see these guys will not be 6, 7, 8 lap 3.
No,
like I don't see it.
Yeah, I think for me, what I like the most about, I like how random it is. Like it definitely feels. This feels fun. Like it's gonna be, unpredictable, which I like. Throughout throughout practice, the Red Bulls weren't like the most strong. I mean, even like to the point where Charles was able to get a pole and then Carlos was able to get P2. So the Red Bull doesn't look like the most strongest car, at least in quali form. Race pace, obviously we'll see something maybe different, but at least right now, the grid being so mixed up gives us a chance to see some potentially good overtakes. I hope we don't get that many safety cars because I do really just want to see some fun racing. Just for all the trouble that F1 has put everybody through to get to this point. Like, can we at least just get through 50 laps? Can we at least
be serious for this?
Can we get to the 50 laps without a disaster happening? So, yeah, I don't know. I'm excited to see what happens. And again, I guess I'm just more interested to see because of the tire situation.
Yeah.
Because it's just going to be so difficult to keep these tires kind of like in a good window. And yeah, it's a brand new track for everybody. So it's like, even though they've had 1.5 practice. They've had some practice.
3.
Yeah.
Not 3.
They've had some practice. I still think it's just the conditions themselves are going to be really challenging. Then you've got all of the friggin' lights. Everything's lit up. You have that friggin' sphere thing giving them weird emojis when they fuck up. Like,
did you see
it's
that colors are banned?
I did see that. They were supposed to be banned. Like certain colors were supposed to be banned.
Yeah, I believe during the race, the sphere can't use red, green, or blue.
Yeah. That makes sense because, you don't want to
absolutely,
distract them.
Hey, Tasha.
Yes.
What would you call the sphere?
What do you mean?
Because I saw somebody call it Sphery Max Sphere. No, I saw somebody call it Sphery Max Sphere, and I really like that name. What would you call this sphere? That's a tough one.
I feel like
that's a tough one.
I feel like I don't have enough brain cells for that right now.
Tasha, is this sphere spying on us?
I do think that it's yes. I think. Can I put my tin hat on for a second? Like, for real. Like, let's be for real. Nobody's building that big of a freaking structure.
No.
And they're not going to be like getting everybody's like tapping your phone calls, watching you through the wall,
seeing you in your hotel room.
Yeah. Like, come on now. It's just like a cute little like screen for emojis.
No, guys, it's yellow. It looks like an emoji, guys. It's not totally spying on you.
Yeah, they know everything. Yeah, while you guys are all having fun at the track and inside watching YouTube, like they're downloading.
With that said, though,
yeah,
I would love to see a huge ass cowboy hat on the sphere.
Okay,
that'd be awesome.
That'd be nice.
Not digitally. I mean a huge ass hat. I mean a huge ass hat. I don't mean
it's like a big ass crane. You just drop the big ass hat.
That's exactly what I'm saying, Tasha. That's exactly what I'm saying. I want a huge ass crane dropping a huge ass hat on that huge ass sphere.
Period.
That'd be dope. After the race, I read this like I don't understand.
Can you hear that?
But I do.
Okay. Sounds like somebody's doing like crop circles around the house.
That's the sphere.
Oh, okay. It's listening. It came for me.
That's how big it is. That's how big it is.
I know too much.
Talking.
Yeah, exactly.
We need to stop. The sphere is not spying on anyone. I read that after the race, once it's over, they're going to drag the racers to the Bellagio fountain. They're going to do post-race interviews in the Bellagio fountain. And then they're going to drive their asses back to the track to do the podium thing.
That's crazy.
Because for some reason, Formula One opened driver interviews to bidding.
What?
And the Bellagio bid to have the interviews in the fountain.
That's insane. This is the shit I be talking about. What are we doing here? This is so stupid. It's almost worse than when they made them wear those stupid fucking football helmets in Miami. Yeah. And they didn't fit.
At least they made them wear it on the podium.
That's true.
Not on the Bellagio.
Are they gonna like have the friends couch and like splash each other and like do the whole like that would be fun. That would make it worth it to be. Yeah. Rest in peace. Yeah. To Chandler. He would have hated this. So
he would have hated it. I read that like it's the greediest thing because they opened it for bidding and everything, but then that while they drive the drivers to the Bellagio and back from it, we're going to be fed with ads.
Yeah.
So it's just like it's a whole thing.
It's crazy.
Anyway, but let's get back on track. And it is time for our favorite time of the episode.
Race predictions. Woo!
I was going to say Twitter time, and I was going to say how we love the people who engage with us and etc. But I guess you don't feel the same way.
Yeah, sorry.
As the host,
I'm hosting, so yeah.
I'm only the guest. I'm sorry.
I thought I could just say what I wanted, as the host, but I guess we'll do it your way. Yes.
Oh, I'm honored. Thank you so much. This is so much chaos. Tasha, can you get us started with a tweet from the people with what their predictions are?
Yeah, of course.
For this race.
So at AJ Maestro says, I see Lewis on the podium, P1, P2, P3. I don't care. Just need my man up on that podium. We're leaving Vegas with something. Please and thank you.
They said please and thank you. So I think it's going to happen.
I hope so.
I've got a tweet from Sig at Explorer Sig, and they said, as always, a little hopium for a Lewis podium. Charles, Max, and this is where I think they got very creative. They are saying Alex or Valtteri Bottas for the podium. I really like that. They said there are some outliers in the top 10, which we were talking about. It's so random. So they hope it's an interesting race. And I really, really like Alex or Valtteri on the podium. I don't think it's going to happen, but creative. I like it.
Yeah, I do too. I think, to their point, like it's just so mixed up, and I just really feel like it's, I don't know. I just think it's gonna be fun. I hope everybody can keep it on the track. That's the only thing, and just like make it a really interesting, fun race. But I totally agree. Like I think that mix up is what we kind of needed, and hopefully it delivers. Our last tweet is from @OnlyDunk, and they said, "Lewis on the podium with the win. I'm in my full Delulu for Lulu mood. Chaos for everyone and everything else. LOL."
I think would you say you are full Delulu for Lulu
Absolutely.
in Fortnite?
Absolutely.
Okay. I thought so.
Yeah.
I thought so.
And guys, make sure you hurry up and get it because it's only for like 48 hours or whatever. So not that I know
She just did free promo for Sir Lewis Hamilton.
Right.
Hire us already, Lewis. Come on.
Dude.
It.
Yeah.
Tasha, what are you predicting? And I want your top 3, but I want any surprise. Anything you think tomorrow, anything that you think is going to catch you by surprise tomorrow.
Right. So I actually haven't thought much about like how this podium is going to play out, to be quite honest, because I'm just so confused by what we're seeing. But I'm going to pick the safe bet. I'm going to go Max win because apparently that's all he wants to do. So I'm going to give him his win. I'm going to say Russell P2. And you know what? I'm going to go Hamilton P3. I'm going to go Mercedes 2-3.
Mercedes 2-3?
Yeah. Why the fuck not?
Why fuck not?
Wouldn't this piece of shit car deliver on the most randomest track on the most randomest day?
After looking like complete shit, just turn it around.
You know, like why not?
I like it.
In terms of like anything that might happen, I do think Carlos is gonna go on a rampage. I do see him potentially getting up there close as well to the podium, maybe even on the podium at some point. I just feel like the Ferraris look really, really good. Charles, unfortunately, the problem with Charles is that like he's just never going to get anything good in life, you know? So
Tasha, can I just say the man is rich, attractive as fuck.
He's gorgeous. Yeah. Great eyes.
So like I think he's been given
You're right.
a few things.
But in terms of Formula One, I just think he's just not allowed to be happy. And so therefore I do not see him finishing this race.
Hell yeah.
And I don't want that for him because I love Charles. I do love Charles. I just but that just seems the most realistic to me.
It just be like that sometimes. It's just race, be like that sometimes.
They're gonna put him up on the sphere, you know, like just like our fallen black and white. Like yeah. Other than that, I don't know. Yeah.
No, I like it. That was very good.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with Max because Max. And then I'm going to say, you know what? I'm going to say Max. I'm going to say Charles. And I'm going to say, damn, do you think Alexander Albon could?
Ooh, yeah.
I want him in P3. I don't give a fuck.
What are the odds?
Very little.
I should have practiced more Vegas terminology. I think that would have been a lot more fun.
Oh, you're right. Yeah. We haven't talked about betting or cards or
anything.
You know what, Tasha? All these races are like a roulette. You never know. You just never know.
Yeah.
Just keep spinning around. You know? That was mine.
Yeah.
As far as a surprise goes, as far as something interesting goes, I see Alonso in the top 4.
Okay.
Yeah, I see Alonso up there.
Yeah. I would agree with that.
So that's what we call predictions.
Mm-hmm.
This weekend has been a weekend. There's been a lot of learning opportunities for F1, and I don't think they've learned them. I think we both, during this episode, we've been very clear. We are excited for the race tomorrow. Yeah. It looks very interesting. The grid is really cool. it would just be ridiculous to not look at everything that's happened this weekend and not say like we need to be better about certain things.
Let's do better. We're taking people's money. Let's provide them at least with something that they paid for. I think that's like the bare minimum.
Maybe we promise them. We promise them a service. We give them the service. Maybe
that. You know, I mean, the thing is, what I find funny is so many people shit on Americans, our customer service, because they're like, oh, you guys are always so happy and blah, blah, blah. But like, you know, here the customer's always right. Okay, like that's in the Constitution of this country. Okay,
the Bible says it too. It's fine.
If I want a refund, I deserve a refund. You know, so like that's just the least you can do. If you're gonna come to a country, respect their customs. You know what I'm saying? Like now you're getting sued, so it is what it is.
Now you're getting your ass sued on a Saturday at 2 a.m. You deserve that shit.
You deserve
that shit. Yeah. And you know what the people deserve? I don't know. I don't really know. Just a good race. I was going to do a segue, but I really wasn't feeling it. We deserve 5-star reviews, everybody.
Yay! Yeah.
Make sure to like, subscribe if you're still with us. We love it. Make sure to engage. We have a Patreon. We have a YouTube channel. It's a Quick Stop F1 podcast. If you're not familiar with it, subscribe, comment. You know, all of you people that watch and don't subscribe, we still love that you watch, but maybe subscribe as well. If you're on Spotify, if you're on Apple Podcasts, leave those 5 stars. If you've seen the Lewis Hamilton dancing Fortnite situation, let us know what your favorite dance is so that we can pull it up ourselves and Tasha can have a great time at just watching it. God, I really am Roscoe when we record these podcasts and I love it. I'm just here for the ride.
And I'm Lewis, like dapping. Having the time of my life and I turn around and shit.
I was like in the back, like in the back, like my head
just
hurts.
Vibing,
I've been dizzy, but it's cool.
Trying to find the eject button for like 20 minutes straight. Beautiful.
Yeah. That's what you think you and I will be back for Abu Dhabi, you know? Maybe.
Let's bet on it.
Week. Let's bet on it. Oh, you see?
I don't like that.
Yeah.
I'll try again next time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I will too. Anyways. Thank you everyone who's watching, who's listening. We love it. It's been so much fun.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna get to it. I've been Mario. You can find me on Twitter or Instagram at Mario_APM. Tasha, where can the people find you?
I don't know where I am or who I am right now.
Or what day it is.
Or what day it is. But my Twitter account is at Tasha. So follow me there. So
find her there.
Yeah.
And let her know what day it is.
Let me know.
And also what time. You know, also, if you want to let us know when the race is, like what time it is, that'd be great.
I don't know. I'm in my own country. I don't know what time this race starts. Is it Saturday? Is it Sunday? Who knows?
Who knows?
It'll be a surprise. It'll be fun. Stay
tuned for next week for the, I'm sure Nyasha is going to be here, break down the race. And you know what? Just get out of here.
Yeah.
Get us out of here.
Guys, thank you again for listening and sticking with us. We appreciate you as always. And remember, no matter what life throws at you, keep it on the black stuff.
Even when betting on roulette. Peace.
And give people their money back.
Give people their money back. God damn. They paid for it.
Bare minimum.
Jesus Christ, man. They paid for it.
Look, mate, if you've got this far, clearly you like what we do. So here's a link to subscribe to the Quick Stop F1 family. Give that a click. And here's another link to some more cool on our channel. Sorry, cool stuff. And remember, no matter what happens, keep it on the black stuff. Click the stuff. Click the links. Click the links. Click the links. There. They're there.